Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Mark Brown, founder of Orange Sock. We serve people with, if you don't know Orange Sock, we serve people with integrity and love while providing revolutionary payment solutions. I'm here with you this morning because there is a topic that's trending a lot, and it surprises me of how many people aren't sure what's in the market, as well as it doesn't surprise me. There are so many solutions that are available, and if I were a business owner just getting started, I can appreciate how many question marks might be following what credit card terminal I should be using, and going into this uh, hornet's nest of providers that will maul you the second you raise your hand with any type of interest. So I'm excited to share some of these key tips with you. And so three of the things that we are going to talk about real briefly is beginning with the end in mind, knowing what you want and why you need it. So as far as credit card terminals are concerned, we're also going to talk about ways that you should get them and ways you should not get them. And then I'll give you the last tip about how to simply find out through asking around the right way, so that you get accurate information, because the credit card industry is kind of complicated on the back end, even though the solutions on the front end can very well be very simple for you and your business. So with that, I'm just going to dive right in, and we're going to go over real quickly. There's a couple different categories of this, but beginning with the end in mind is very important. Knowing what you want, but more importantly, why you need it. So I've walked into many businesses, spoke to many business owners that have way more than what they need. And it's shocking that how much they spend to get overkilled solutions. And then even the other way around, how much little people will be willing to invest in something that is a bottleneck, a major bottleneck for customer satisfaction, for their revenue, for reporting, for adding other solutions like online ordering and other peripheral needs that you might have in your business. So beginning with the end in mind will allow you to know, remember, what's most important here. What's most important? Is it just a transaction? Do I just need to move money? Do I just need to send an invoice? Or are you looking to get more? What is the vision of that you have for your company? Where are you looking to be in 1 year, 3 year, even 5 years down the road? So knowing what you want first, the vision of your company, and what you want your customer experience to feel like is the most important. I go down to a local place where my office is located, and I typically land when I eat, whenever I'm in town. I usually land at either Subway or some other place like that. But these major franchises are doing online ordering, call ahead. They make it very simple. The menus are getting streamlined. I'm looking and noticing how even Taco Bell has streamlined their menus. This is very important for whatever payment solutions, your credit card terminals that you choose. Is it just a business-to-business transaction where none of that matters? Or is it a place where you want to make sure that you are capturing all the, filling all the holes where you could be making money? Or providing, more importantly, providing what your customers want. You know, I sat down with another business that is here in town, and they've opened up a barbecue place, which is some of my favorite food. I've been so blessed to see and taste some of the best barbecue in this country. And of which, not the least of which, one of my business partners down in Fort Lee, expanding into Fort Eustis, is LePew's Barbecue. And he gets it. Online ordering and call ahead and facilitating all the means that your customers have and want to take payments, way that they want to pay for their orders, is going to be critical. I just posted a bunch of information on Twitter last week after a webinar that provided a lot of details for 451 research about how much customer satisfaction hinges around tap to pay, and how that fast payment will increase customer satisfaction dramatically. With millennials, it's over 50% of them are using tap to pay on a regular or monthly basis. So really stepping back and remembering or researching or pulling surveys, even if it's with your current customers or those you want to grab, is going to be the most important thing when you determine what credit card terminal you should be getting and why you should be getting it. So I think I beat that horse enough, but it is the most important thing. It doesn't matter what's in the market. It doesn't matter what my company, any other company in this market can provide you. If you don't know what you want or why you should get it, it's probably better you don't do anything at all until you figure that out. So, I mean, here at Orange Sock, our vision is posted on the wall. It's in constant literature. It constantly reminds us what we are doing here. You know, we're providing revolutionary payment systems with integrity and love, and that's all we do. If it doesn't fall in line with that, then, you know, it's not something we'll do. So, and gratitude will do that. So the next thing I wanted to share with you is the ways to get it. And then I'll show you a couple products that we have, because there is just so, and it's not just me, but I mean, these products are available everywhere. Products can be, as far as the credit card terminals, you have the run-of-the-mill First Data terminals. You have some new cash discounting surcharging terminals that are 100% network and wireless. Many hardwire terminals, as well as the old school ones, are still working. I have a large Clover offering because in many ways Clover is a fantastic product for small business. It's arguably, when provided through a great processor, going to be the best solution for small business, retail, restaurant, typically, but not always. You know, I mean, every business differs, and working with a provider that's okay with them not having the best solutions to you is something that you should trust the feelings that you have on, when they're not attached to a singular product or processor, that they can move with whatever is best and aligns with your vision. But in the many businesses that we serve, Clover has been at the top of the list as far as arguably the best solution for them. So if that were the case and it aligns with their vision, then yeah, we provide Clover. The wireless Clover Wireless Go, incredible. It does tap to pay, it does dip, it does swipe. It's has a beautiful docking station. It runs really long, and it works off of any iPhone or Samsung smartphone, as well as many other Android-based smartphones and tablets. So really great for that mobile solution, maybe startup mom and pop shops that are weekend or whatever the case may be, where it's not really brick and mortar. And when you start to get places of business for retail and restaurant, you start to look at solutions like the Clover Mini, which also is Wi-Fi and network capable. It runs on LTE now. Or you can get a fully integrated solution like a Clover Station that will run your entire business, not just payments. The Clover Mini and the Station, the Legacy and the 2018, are incredible products. I mean, when it comes to out-of-box solutions, they're arguably the best. It's all-in-one hardware. They own everything on it, and it comes from what is now FIS-served. First Data was recently acquired by a bank, and so, but the once known as First Data, they had it all in one channel, and we use, you know, as much as direct to processor as anyone can really achieve, going through Card Connect, and who is a great provider as well for pretty much any solution for payments, but one of the top providers, but the leading provider, I believe, for anything Clover, because you're dealing with the in-house provider who owns Clover, who owns the processing, who owns most of the apps that they've acquired to create this out-of-box solution. So when you're looking and you know what is best for your business, start to step back and understand there's a couple different categories that credit card terminals are going to fall into. They're either going to be integrated or non-integrated. They're going to be like the Clover Mini. They're going to be able to, you know, run employee management, inventory, sales, and I think there's over 300 apps now on the Clover market. Or they'll be standalone, and you know, and they don't just have to look antiquated. This one's top of the line. It's a great wireless terminal. It's a PAX terminal. So I mean, depending on what your needs are, but knowing what they are, there's always going to be a simple solution available to you. Whether you go fully integrated, you're going to run the whole operation from the point of sale that's processing, or the credit card or processing is going to be off to the side. and more supplemental to how you run the core of your operation. So when you're speaking to anyone, ask for a certified payment professional who's been certified by the Electronic Transaction Association, which is the largest association for payment professionals in the world. So I carry that certification. Most of the people that would trust a professional in payments would look for that identifying mark. Next thing I want to talk about is wired and wireless. Wireless is there's lots of things to do with that, but knowing if you need to be wired or wireless, there's many solutions that are Wi-Fi. And I would tell you that most of the businesses, I would say out of hundreds that I've met and earned the business of, were using Clover on a Wi-Fi setup, which is great and it's wonderful. And they also run through the bottleneck of the service provider. Since Clover is very, very strong encrypted, it's high security on its station. They own they control the payment controller. So there's a lot of security wrapped up in a Clover station. And so with a lot of wireless, a lot of internet providers, I was finding that sometimes the internet would bounce, like come in and out. And because of how it connects to the internet, that would cause the Clover to have to reestablish that connection. And it's no different from these terminals. If someone were to remove a Ethernet cable, it would cause the terminal to have to reestablish that connection. And that connection is crucial to make sure that nobody is able to jump into the terminal, steal the credit card data prior to batch, or intercept that data in transit. So knowing whether or not you can stay on wired or wireless, I found that when the Clovers were connected with Ethernet, in not all situations, it was pretty much the provider contingent, like it based on who the internet provider was, and if they were piggybacking off of someone else's hard lines like Verizon or whatever in your area. It just depended on how stable that network was. But in all cases where the internet was a problem and we went to Ethernet, I found that almost entirely the connectivity went away. And I believe that's true with most other point of sale solutions. I can't speak to them all because I haven't experienced them all. But most of them use Wi-Fi. So if you're going to be on a Wi-Fi setup, really know that that's what you need. And then also determine that you have a great setup for Wi-Fi. Because as much as I would love to slam competition, which I really don't like to do, I like to just stay in my lane and do what I know works best for businesses and earning their business. I find that a lot of times the POS is not the problem when they have connectivity issues. It's usually the setup. So if you need some contacts, I have a national vendor that will help you assess what's going on, as well as local people to Virginia and all the states around Virginia, like Maryland, West Virginia, and the Carolinas. So I'm happy to ask me any questions that have to do with that. I'd be glad to help in any way. So the last thing I would say about ways to get your terminals is that, man, I do not love leasing. A lot of people in this business love to lease. They love to lease and lock people into these long agreements because there's heavy compensation for leasing. And I'm a big fan of doing what's best for the business, especially when we create win-win situations, which is one of our 9 core values. But in the end, I have not seen many situations where it is what is financially best for a business to lease a credit card terminal. It usually is lopsided. It usually just benefits the rep or the company providing it. And I'm not throwing any leasing companies under the bus because it is up to the rep and the business owner to determine what is best for them. I provide leases, and leasing in whole is not bad. It's bad when it's done in the wrong purpose and for the wrong reasons. But when it's done in the right reasons, I have many business partners who've leased their equipment. And when it's done for the right purposes, it's a huge benefit to the business. They typically come with full coverage. So if anything happens to the terminal, if it breaks out of warranty, they'll replace it. And they usually do it next day shipping. First Data Global Leasing is one of my favorite providers because they're ethical and they back up their partners. They don't just send it out there and really try to coerce businesses into I don't know. I don't want to throw any businesses under a bus, but they can be. There's a lot of bad providers with leasing. Here at Orange Sock, we offer rentals as well as discounts for paying in full up front, as well as a 90 days, same as cash option. So we really work around whatever's best for the business. So when you go into getting your credit card terminals, know that leasing, you really want to be cautious and read all the fine print, and then read it again, and then throw it by somebody you trust to see if that really is the best situation for you. If not, ask what other options they have available to you. And when they don't have many other options, it's going to feel like you're being cattle herded, where you're being sent down this channel that they want you to go down instead of doing what's best for you and buying up front or renting it or spreading out those payments, or just looking for ways that are just better for you. So be frugal and critical to the companies that you get any product from, and understand what would happen if you cancel your merchant services. So say you get to credit card processing with a provider, ask them what's going to happen, say 3 months from now, and I just don't like you and I don't want to do business with you anymore. What is this terminal going to do for me? What am I going to be able to do with it? And just knowing worst case scenarios, because one of the best lessons that my grandfather taught me was how to always make sure that you're covering your bases. So just think worst case scenario in case things don't work out, and you'll end up making sure that you don't end up in these terrible restricting contracts and all the things that paint this industry as a terrible industry, when it really doesn't have to be for you or your business. The last thing I'm going to say is ask around and understand the differences between friends who want to tell you what they do because they like it, and they want you to do what they're doing, and friends that care about what's best for you. All the friends I have in my life, and people that have gone away and come back. I mean, what everybody's coming. I think most people in general want what's best for you. Not everybody's enabled to be able to do that for you or know what's best for you. So in the last chapter of my book, 27 Secrets to Lowering Your Credit Card Fees, I talked about this, but trust your gut. Ask around, ask businesses what they like, and then pass that through your own filter and see if that's what you feel like's best for you, while remembering the vision of your business. And I think that's what I'm going to end with today. So I hope this information helps you on credit card terminals a little bit. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. My email is mark@orangesockpay.com, or you can call me on my cell phone, 540-693-0424. I am mostly available. I stay pretty efficient with my time. And I always leave with what we're going to talk about next. Our next broadcast will have to do with credit card payment solutions. So more different, a little bit more broader look on what we're doing. This will be also posted on our podcast, which is Point of Scale. You can find it on iTunes and all the Android, whatever you listen to your podcast on. And the next episode, we're gonna dig a little bit more into gateways and software solutions. So follow us on Twitter. Our handles is at orangesockpay, and Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff. So, and I'd like to leave you with my quote. I have a quote every time I do this, and that is by Herman Melville. It's better to fail in originality than to succeed in imitation. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for listening.